Okay, hey, welcome back to another Black City Coffee vlog. Taking a little break from coffee. These are soaps, I make them. I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna let you know how I make these soaps. So these are called melt and pour soaps. So I didn't actually like have lye and then like oils and other materials and make this soap from scratch, so to speak. I already had ready-made soap. They come in these really big blocks, even wheels like cheese or something. But you can even buy them kind of like in little bricks of ready-made soap. And so this particular blend of soap is actually a mix of like goat's milk soap, honey and aloe. I have it here actually written down on the ingredients. And then I actually take scents. So these are the main ones I use is tobacco bay leaf. I source all of this from Brambleberry. This is you can't read it now because they get kind of like worn out, so you have to write in your own. This is a fragrance, so not an essential oil. So there's two types of oils when they're using, when they're trying to scent things, you know, or perfume things. So you have fragrance oil, which is like kind of made in a lab. Fragrance oil, and then you have essential oil, which is, you know, derived from real things. So like eucalyptus oil, which is something that I put in here. Let me see if I could show you. Oh, here, so yeah, tobacco and bay leaf fragrance oil. This is a brand new one. Yeah, this one made in a lab versus essential oil like tea tree. Tea tree is an essential oil derived from real tea trees. So, but you can have tea tree fragrance where that's like a cheaper mode. It doesn't smell as great. It doesn't have the same even like quote unquote medicinal properties and stuff like that. So the real stuff, I only use the real stuff if they are indeed essential oils. But they have some like, you know, stuff that's made in the lab called fragrances, and that's the tobacco leaf. So for this particular one, which I love, and I came up with this just when I first started making soaps, which is just the tobacco bay leaf and then eucalyptus. So it's straight up this, where's the eucalyptus? Here it is. It's straight up this here, and then I have my own measurements, which I will measure out with these little pipettes. And I do like a block like this. And I don't want to bring all my stuff out. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of work involved with soap, and I just did it for fun. But you know, a fair few people like it, so it's cool to do it every once in a while when I have like a free day or something, like a free day or two. Kind of takes a long process. Not as long as say like making your own soap with the actual lye and stuff like that. I have seen that done. I've never made it myself. It looks a little bit too much chemistry. So this one, you just melt it down, like whatever, you have these bricks of ready-made soap, that's why it's called melt and pour. And then you cut them down in little chunks, kind of like cooking. They all need to be relatively even size. Pop it in the microwave to melt it down. You mix it, make sure everything's well blended. And then you add in your scents like this, bloop, bloop. And then you mix that up, and then you pour them in your mold. So I have this long rectangle mold. And then just imagine this like a loaf of bread. And then later on when it hardens, then you just slice them up. And then I try to make them as even as possible, but they're around 6 ounces. And then I wrap them up in a little bit of like non-grease paper. Like food grade non-grease paper, and then pop them in one of these little clear baggies, and then just label them with ready-made, or with really easy to make little stickers that I have here. And then that's it. So that is the process behind the soaps whenever I have free time, but it's definitely nothing for realsies. It's a hobby, okay? So that's how I make the soaps, melt and pour soaps. The only thing I think, you know, you can get melt and pour soaps anywhere. You can make them yourself for sure. Brambleberry.com, that's where we get all of our stuff. It's all like ready to go. There's so many cool little projects that you can do for fun there. yeah, to make money with soap, same thing, just like with coffee, you gotta sell it at scale to actually make some money. It's a lot of work. It's pretty labor intensive if you don't have a lot of like really great systems, I think, in place, and it takes a lot of space in your, on a table. This takes a lot of room, so it's definitely, and then it can be an investment too. So these aren't cheap. You know, we got a lot of these, honestly, for fun. Like, look at this. We have more. So the higher quality ingredient obviously will cost more. I was even putting, you know, coffee as an exfoliant because they said you could do that, right? So we were doing that before when I first started making soaps. And then the difference of like using fresh coffee versus old coffee, spent coffee versus not spent coffee. There's all those types of things that can happen, discoloration, taint, taint in that you're like sort of like when you mix with different fragrances or essential oils, you can change their properties if you introduce another thing. So that's something to consider too. So if you're into the sciencey thing about it, the chemistry thing about it, I think it's really cool. But yeah, that's the story behind our little soaps here. You'll find that I printed these and I wrote the wrong weight, so I put the right weight. But yeah, they're live on the site right now if you're down to check that out. They smell great. If you like a masculine scent, I love masculine scented things. I'm one of those gals that is not into flowers, is not into herbal essence, not into bouquets on Valentine's Day. I'm into really masculine scents. I think because I just like, I love the way my husband smells too. So like when out of the shower using all of the, you know, any general masculine scented thing just reminds me of like somebody I love or something like that. Or like my dad, reminds me of my dad. But I generally don't like anything flowery, anything like that. So I like masculine scented things. So if you like that stuff, then you can check this out. It's a tobacco bay leaf and eucalyptus scented soap, melt and pour, made by me. Thanks.